So hello, it's Max again, and for this journey we're going to be looking at the PNG Highlands, the bush strips packs developed and curated by Ken Hall. And we're going to have a look around as many as we can with the Pimax Crystal Super Series. The eastern side is officially titled the Independent State of Papua New Guinea, and the western side is part of Indonesia. With the population estimated to be between 12 to 17 million, because it's very hard to count, the population is extremely diverse. There are 840 known spoken languages, making it the most linguistically diverse country in the world. So we're flying in the Pac 750 XL at the moment, and this is a STOL aircraft, short takeoff and landing. It's quite a large plane, but the PNG community and civil authorities use it to transport foods and resources and do search and rescue. So this is where we're going to stay tonight before we head off with another plane. Food has been delivered. There's some beautiful things to look at, and some great sky and sunsets. Nice, we got some hot chocolate and cake. Australia actually gifted 2 Pac 750s to the Papua New Guinea Defence Force to help out with transport, search and rescue, and surveillance for bushfires and stuff like that. And this is where we're going to stay tonight, but let's check the map before we head off to bed. So if we have a look at the map, this is Papua New Guinea, situated above Australia, and we do have one airport on the western Indonesian side, but most are located on the eastern side here. So we've got loads and loads of little bush strips that you can kind of go all the way down, and you can see the island has a huge chain, so you can fly all the way along through to here, and then you can start picking up the other chain of strips as you go. Now we're going to be aiming to go all the way through here, around and down here, and ending up around here. Obviously there's lots more to look at, but I think that is enough to try and cram into this video. We've got a range of different planes again, so we're going to leave the pack here, but I just wanted to use that because it's a good introduction to the PNG way of life. Okay, so now we're on the Macau's DA40 XLS. It's a smaller plane to fly. So I've chosen the cows for this section of the journey because it's more kind of like plain sailing, not too high, rough and rugged. But you do need to be selective about your planes when you're flying around PNG, because you can get into tight spots quite quickly. There are a few mountains in the ranges that do capture snow at certain periods of the year. But yeah, just amazing views everywhere. Looks like there's a fire down there. And now we're in Bundi. And this is where we'll have a little look around. So every now and again we'll stop off at one of the airstrips and we'll have a look around. Most of the shots you'll see here are in VR. But I've now just got so used to the feeling of being in VR, my brain has kind of fully meshed to the experience. But everything's getting really, really good at the moment. I mean, there are improvements, but it's clear that the Microsoft Flight Simulator team have been focused on kind of enhancing VR for very good reason, to be honest. You'll notice I'll be hugging some trees. They're going to desperately trying to show you the kind of the depth that you get, or the perception you have. I mean, there is a little bit of flickering and some aberrations, but you can see we're in a stage of kind of refining and tuning. But essentially it's trying to speed run our way through the Highlands to get to the other side and show you as many of the beautiful landscapes as we can. So now we're in the Gabriel BK160-TR. I'd describe it as an ultralight, I think. It's got reasonable power. I don't think you'd be wanting to do any particular stunts on it, but for a single or two-seater, it's a great way to kind of travel around. It's like the motorbike of the plain world. Great views, very unrestricted bubble canopy, so that's great. And here we come into the main. So yeah, lovely detail inside the cockpit, and yeah, it's a fun plane, but you can't go too high, you'll get stuck on the mountains here, and so we'll leave this plane here. Again, plants, I'm trying to show you how beautiful they are, but you know, you really want to reach out and touch them. I'm gonna have to show you how the depth really works here. Think of it like this: you're on holiday and you're standing in front of a beautiful landscape and you're absolutely enthralled by the moment. So you take out your camera and take a photograph of it to hold that memory. Then when you get back home and you look at that image again, it really doesn't give you the emotional feeling of it. VR gives you that full kind of emotional immersion as well. You really, the depth of everything really just kind of draws you in. But you don't get the smells, the sights, the sounds, the true memory. Yes, the image is beautiful in and of itself, but it certainly doesn't compare to the experience that you hope to capture. Again, you know, this looking up at trees and how they wrap round. So when we're looking at the image that you see on the monitor, we really need to crop in to better kind of convey what I see. You need to understand that the image outside of that cropped area is still surrounding your eye, so you do see it in your peripheral vision. Then you have to double that image and then separate them slightly for each eye, but it's not a duplicate image, they are offset. In simple terms, we do have two monitors, one for each eye. But any photographer would tell you that yes, a lens can take an image and change the focal depth, and you focus on an area to draw the eye's attention, but that's not comparable to vision. You're like walking into this little forest glade here, you know, coming across this rock, looking up this path. It's just incredible. I mean, you have to live a self-sufficient life here for sure, but you know, you have kind of shared houses, kind of single family situations going on, lots of little kind of schools and kind of kind of bits of trading and bartering going on between people, you know, being self-sufficient, but having an airstrip, so if you can kind of sell a bit of your goods and trade it for, you know, something else. Also having access to doctors and you know, help like that. Incredibly beautiful landscape though. Within this landscape here, this is just incredible, and you can look over this hillside and the parallax kind of feel to it, every single element of it. You can feel the fall off over to the right hand side down to the valley. I'm not looking at it, I am moving through it. So we're picking up the Draco or Draco X. This is where the rubber meets the road essentially. I'm only using this one to get over the mountains because this section is very up and down. Yeah, a lot of planes that you choose, you will be able to get up and down the mountains, but I would suggest a stall aircraft, something which is very good at gaining height in small places and being able to land on a dime, basically. And the Draco does that, of course. Beautiful little places, just nestled in one of the ridges of the mountains. Different climates for each little kind of ridged mountain range. No wonder there's so much diversity. Real kind of nice slow landing. Bit of a bounce on the big wheels. But I mean, you just got so much power, you just full flaps it and you kind of descend almost vertically. But that section, you know, you can get caught out in PNG, so you do want to make sure you've got your elevations and stuff like that set in. And again, it's a hug and stare at trees. So another way to explain the three-dimensional kind of element to your vision is if you're standing in a corridor and you cover up one eye, you'll see a flatter version of what you normally see. And then when you uncover your eye again, you'll get that three-dimensional kind of vision back. It's a small thing, but if you test it out, you'll kind of get halfway to the feeling of what the difference is between looking at a monitor and actually being in VR itself. I would say halfway, because the experience is still a lot stronger when you're in VR. When you're standing in a position like this, I can feel the wing above my head and I can look down to see the tyres. I know that they are there. I can reach out and grab this handle. The first thing you'll experience when you actually use VR in a plane is it will stun you. You'll probably spend a good 10 minutes just staring at knobs and buttons from different angles, so it's insanity. So, Super Decathlon time. The American champ, the big brother of the Scout. It's got some power. And again, it's more of a stunt plane, so... But this section, we have more kind of open landing. I mean, you know, you've got the power there, so you can land reasonably well. Sections of the landscape open up. You'll suddenly go over a mountain edge and be into a whole new diversity of species and all the rest of it. The PNG packages are one of those things where you can really make a great kind of little holiday flight session. It's great. So here we drop off again. I'll have a look around, see what's happening. Some of the airstrips are pretty hard to land on, so there are various different challenges, but it's not too hectic. One of the things you've got to be a little bit careful of is the power of your chosen airplane, because you can get stuck. If you haven't got, I mean, we're at high altitude now, and a lot of planes will struggle over certain peaks because it just goes up and up and up. Hello, little goats. So we try to optimize each area, but we do have little bits and pieces like this, the wildlife, where we spend a bit of time with the detail. I mean, this is the kind of the bread and butter of these small populations, so being in VR is really helpful to get that feeling of actually being there. There are a few things with twitchy leaves and twitchy trees. There has been an update for Microsoft Flight Simulator which is looking more at these kind of aberrations in VR. the higher the resolution you can get, the the less problematic that is. But again, this is cutting edge technologies, rendering things, and these are things which I've noticed improve over the months that I've been using the VR headset. Particularly at the moment, it seems to be a major focus for the sim updates. I mean, just everywhere you look is stunning, very picturesque. So this next bit, we're going to go with the G2 helicopter, because this next section is a bit up and down. This is the last section that we're going to fly, and this is just one valley that leads down a lovely little community of airstrips. I'm going to say, from a kind of flight perspective, this is such a beautiful section. The landscape's insane. They're like itty bitty communities that you kind of have to kind of just dip into and kind of bounce off. So here we are at Assinwa. This is our final destination, and I'll just leave the helicopter here and we'll have a quick look around before I get picked up by the pack and we head on home. This is such a wonderful way to escape the rigours of life and really kind of bring yourself out and uncover the beauty of a world away. Not sure we should have warthogs just chilling in a field, but hello little piggy. Damn, you're ugly, son. It's very peaceful. It's just a peaceful place. But also, flying over the airstrips is kind of one thing, but actually getting in amongst it as well. But up here's the final ridge, where you can look out on a valley between two majestic rocks. So there we go, that's the PNG Highlands bush strips. Again, I hope this was a wonderful experience to introduce you to the Pimax Crystal Super. I mean, it's the perfect way to experience the PNG Highlands. So there we go, another journey in the Pimax Crystal Super. I mean, it's a bit of a shame you have to get back to reality. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, till next time.